and we have been reluctant to sign the contract long years. But about 5 years ago, we has entered the convention. So we are now member state of CISG. So the legal research may be projected in different places. So consider, for example, the nation state of Republic of Korea. You are now on the desktop, work desktop, and may wish to know the constitutional law cases, since you are advised to prepare for midterm report. Then you will visit the Supreme Court website. There are many websites to cover e-government of the Republic of Korea. So the Ministry of Justice. And in that website, you have very helpful access to the standing laws of the Republic of Korea. So one click would relocate yourself to the provisions you're now greatly interested in. So that is the solution for this question, the satisfactory. So the structure of legal system is prerequisite you need to be aware of in conducting your legal research. And as later reviewed, we have some different form of citation which is attributed to the legal research. So often APA style would be governed when you are engaged in the research of social science, American Psychological Association, how to put in-text citation in the main text of your discussion, and also the methodology would be made distinct. Although the legal science is one branch of a social science, the typology and formality will differ. The form of citation will differ also. And the sources of data are also quite documented. And often we rarely hold kind of a database approach for legal research. So you may know the word XPSS, but what is it? So it is computer software program for the quantitative research in social science. So quite amazing to articulate in what the artificial way about statistical analysis. So we have a kind of concept, for example, chi-scale. What is chi-scale? It's non-paradigmatic method to test the validity, reliability, and credibility are the values with the risk researchers often assume. And Chromebooks are, and you know the name in quite vague and consider, for example, Pearson. So you will see the regression analysis is prevailing to support the nature of data and evidence, collected evidence. He is the founder of modern statistics. The Department of Statistics was created the first time in the University of London. And many other familiar names which might they come across about the routine days. So basically we have 3 ways of research method in terms of social science research: quantitative, qualitative, and mixed. That idea will not often be applied to the legal research. Other than basic framework, you need to be aware of a structure of legal system involving, for example, federalism between the state and federal government. And you must ask, in the first place, do you have dual authority of a judicial power? So do not use up. That is correct. So one is search the provisions of Korean Constitution. Then you have an independent chapter for Korean Constitution Code and a Supreme Court. How would the distribution of governmental power would be such that you will be required to examine in your curriculum, for example. So it is a basic idea to begin with case laws open to the public access in the website of Korean Constitution search. And also the Supreme Court would not entirely alienated from constitutional issues. They are independent authority to interpret the provisions of the Constitution. And it is quite usual way, as Thomas Hobbes expounded, the jurists are the organ of interpretation. What is this? And the trade could be traced, for example, to the medieval work. Annotation work had patronized to create, find better laws. The jurists and legal scholars around the time would be principally responsible to put annotations to the Justinian Code, for example. What does it mean? So interpretation, annotation is the kind of popular way you are minded to progress in your legal research. So let's see. The structure of legal system should be your prerequisite. So, step into process we're describing with the problem we presented earlier in this chapter. The thought process to design your research project, research plan would be required of preliminary study about facts and issues. For example, one partner may ask, this guy has put a trailer on my land and it looks like he's going to stay there and living indefinitely. What can I do about it? Does this suggest to you an area or more than one area of the law that might govern this situation? Do you even have specific legal questions in mind that should be answered in order to render legal advice to this client? Perhaps you are thinking of words to describe the situation, such as quitting or trespassing. All of these may be useful in proceeding with your research on this problem. Now consider the second scenario. So you're now now a recent graduate of law school, so we have a very refined knowledge about legal basics, torture, trespass claim. But this new challenge will require the our client married a quick contract was filmed by a surveillance camera at a cubicle at a place of work while she was eating a plate of ribs, and she got a little mess eating, and someone there, she doesn't know who, took a clip of the footage and dubbed it and made it into kind of a fake commercial. So your first impression would be that this controversy would involve invasion of privacy, thought damages. Well, that person, we don't know who, put the same on YouTube. What can you do for her? So the online community would actually create the kind of cultural way of communication, and we could be very prodigious to interact with both public kind so no barrier absolutely to reach any corner of this planet for communication. Which is great. But one problem with the invasion of privacy. So they feel attacked, damaged about his personal integrity and self. He might feel the kind of nobility to be abridged. The same questions may be posed. Do you know the area of law? Do you have any specific legal questions to answer based on these facts? Are you thinking of any keywords such as privacy or embarrassment or exploitation or emotional distress that might lead you in certain directions in your research? This thought process is the first step in preparing to research an answer to these problems. So you may think about how to determine the search terms. I have introduced two ways in the brief, label search or legal terms. There is basic procedure to starting any research project, regardless of whether you are starting your research online or in the books. So online research could feel actually operative and work to effect on your expected outcome. Since the online culture and also institution, I rather say, it's very organic and well articulated to get through the end of research. Nonetheless, you will need to visit a brick or mortar law library. We have very fine building, so just a law library is quite exquisite, you see, and very calm to spend your leisure time. You take a nap after lunchtime. As well, why don't you ever visit to spend your life? It's quite pleasant place to read your home books or case books, often facilitated with the well-organized computers and PC and a very kind library page assistant. So you now begin to think about search terms. Search terms are keywords and phrases that you will input into the search boxes of online and electronic resources and databases, that you will look up in the index or table of contents of principles. Where do you get them from? Generally, you get them from the facts and circumstances of the problem. Some terms may be associated with the persons or entities involved. Landowner, a taxpayer is C. Some may be associated with places or things involved: a parcel of land, a sum of money, a stolen penny. So you may recall some interesting case. For example, Lenoir's famous piece about was stolen during the transportation into Korean exhibit. Example, what the international exhibit usual to earn income about the popular painting, classic. Some may be then what legal problem could be posed. The case with the refer to your law firm could be lucrative in some case. Some terms. So that is one way to search for your evidence. So this is a legal search if you use this term, stolen. Some may be associated with the actions of personal enemies, an offer to sell or failure to pay, the removal of the penny without permission, while others will be derived from the law itself and termed associated with claims and defenses of applicable rules of law. For example, negligence, breach, assumption of risk, absence of rights. That would be a jargon to support your legal research. So the jargon only an effective way. It's not exclusive. It's not exclusively effective way. So we have been helped to combine two ways of search terms. To determine certain terms that are derived from the area of law, you must know the area very well, which points to the need to do background research in the area of law to gain such understanding. So your exposure might be quite effective and also very equipped to deal with the question posed, the challenge.